The families of the Uvalde shooting survivors are suing FedEx and UPS now. 19 children and 2 teachers were killed back in 2022 in Uvalde, Texas at Robb Elementary School. The lawsuit claims companies shipped an enhanced trigger system to the shooter, allowing him to convert his gun into an automatic weapon. The lawsuit alleges that is a violation of state and federal law and the company's own corporate safety standards. Both companies released statements saying that their hearts definitely go out to the families, but that they are in compliance with applicable laws. Joining us this morning with a breakdown of the lawsuit is 9 News legal expert Whitney Traylor. Thanks for coming in.
Sure, tough case.
It is tough, and it's kind of a fascinating situation here. So these families believe that the shipping companies somehow should have been able to stop the shipment or delivery of these weapons?
It sounds tough, but yeah, that's essentially the argument, is that they're saying that they violated 2 things. They're saying that they were negligent and they caused intentional infliction of emotional distress, which are the 2 claims. And they're saying, 1, they shipped the gun, he was under 18 at the time. When even though he was shipped to the gun store, he went and picked it up. They should have known that, and their own policies they should have complied with. They're also saying that they shipped the trigger mechanism that allowed it to essentially act as a semi-automatic. They shipped that to his home, and that was within 1,000 feet of the school, so which is a gun-free school zone act. So the parents are saying, hey, you should have complied with your own policy, and you shouldn't have shipped this gun. So that's the claims.
How would they have known that there was a weapon in the, was it marked that way? Do they scan it?
Yeah, they should have scanned it, is the argument, is that, hey, you scanned it, you should have known. Their own policies say, hey, you're not shipping any kind of firearms or that kind of thing. So they're saying, yes, they should have known it. And of course, FedEx and UPS are saying, we complied with all state and federal regulations.
I didn't know that FedEx and UPS scan all boxes to see what's in it.
Now, I don't know their internal procedures. I don't know if they scan all boxes, but knowing that there's a firearm there, right, is the argument that they should have known. And this lawsuit was just filed, so these are all factual issues that will be determined in the trial or even in pretrial motions.
Will the outcome of this set a precedence now moving forward?
It's interesting because there was legislation in 2005 that says gun manufacturers can't be liable for people's actions in terms of mass shootings and things like that. So that's given them blanket immunity. So now you find over the last several years, since we've had so many mass shootings, parents and families trying to go after the gun manufacturers in different ways. This is another, I think, kind of element of that body of law where they're now saying, we just got to go after somebody because these mass shootings continue to happen. And as we know, money kind of makes things operate. So they're like, if we can go after somebody, then maybe it'll slow things down. So this could create precedent.
What is the status of the case, and where do you think it's actually going to go from here?
Well, I think it's going to be a settlement. I mean, most of these cases, we've covered so many mass shootings, which is heartbreaking, and the majority of them settle. 1, even though there's this protection, these gun manufacturers and others who may be liable are saying, hey, can we get this resolved? We don't want the press. We don't want to try and defend it. So I would be surprised if this didn't settle. But if it doesn't and it goes to trial, then we may be creating new precedent. I mean, because what they're trying to do is saying, okay, because of this 2005 legislation, it's hard to go after gun manufacturers. Can we go after someone else to stop the young people from having these guns and then committing these mass shootings?
So if it does go to trial real quick, how do you think the companies are going to defend themselves?
Well, right now, it's interesting. They haven't even had to file their answer yet because the complaint was just filed. So I don't know what their technical legal defense is, but what their statement is, we've complied with all state and federal laws. I think they have a hard time, though, because 1, this was shipped to his home, at least the trigger portion, which is within the Gun-Free School Zone Act. So I think they're going to have a hard time. But all they've said right now is this kind of blanket statement, we've complied with all state and federal laws.
Yeah, it's very early in this whole thing. I'm sure you're going to be following it and give us an update. As always, Whitney, thanks for coming in.
Okay.
Let's get a check the